Hi, and welcome back to another episode of My Kitchen with Jake. I'm your host, Chef Jake Osburn, and today we're in my kitchen here at Sandhill Crane Vineyards. I operate out of this space as Kitchen Little. Today we're going to be putting together a charcuterie board similar to what we put together in our display case and that we sell to our guests. So today, the cheeses that I chose is a classic President's Brie, because it's everybody's favorite. Con Romero, which is a rosemary crusted goat cheese. Truffle Gouda, known as Hey There. We have an apricot Stilton and a Pickwick cheese made with Vidalia onions and cheddar. We're also gonna top it with some tomatoes, some carrots, cucumbers. I've got some marinated olives. I have some really wonderful creme anglaise with almond. We've got Allison grapes with the first harvest of Michigan strawberries. I've got some bloomed peppers, some beautiful blackberries, some blood orange, and then we've got two beautiful wines from our partners here at Sandhill Crane Vineyards. We've got the Sassy Rosé and Vignoles. These are perfect for summer picnic culture, same with charcuterie boards. But the most important thing is after we keep it safe, so do you. So I'm also gonna show you how we put it into a cooler, pack it accordingly, and keep it cold for our next segment where we'll be enjoying a picnic out in the vineyard. I'm gonna start with a few of my base items when I'm setting up my board. I like to go for the things that are most sturdy. I already washed my produce, which I recommend you always do. We don't know what they sprayed on it, so I just washed mine with plain water. When we begin making our board, it's always best to think about what you're pairing it with. If you're going sweet and salty, and what your foundation's gonna look like. I like to keep sweet and salty kind of on separate sides because I feel like there's always somebody who likes more savory than sweet. Somebody likes red instead of white. I'm also gonna use my grapes as one of my foundation points because it gives it really nice structure and it's another focus. Everybody loves grapes. These are Allison grapes, which are nice and sweet, but not too sweet. I'm also gonna lay my tomatoes down along the side. All right, I'm also gonna do some cucumbers just over here on the savory side. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna chop off their little butts, and I'm gonna split them in half. And I'm gonna make sure you can see them in the board so that they really are showy. And we'll do the same with our carrots so that you can see inside of them. I really like these tricolor carrots. I think it's important to eat your colors. So we'll station those along the side as well. I like to leave these purple ones that are so showy on top. These have nice crunch and nice snap, and the earthy flavor always pairs with wine very interestingly. I'm now gonna station some of my cheeses on here, and I'm gonna focus on my biggest one first. So this is classic President's Brie. Interesting fact about President's Brie, because I love a fact dump. The culture that makes this cheese so beautiful and white is actually currently threatened, and it's likely to be extinct within the next 5 or 6 years, allegedly. And if that happens, it's going to be much browner and gray and less appealing aesthetically, which is kind of sad, but each piece will be interesting. It kind of looks like that on the bottom. I could see it, but I love the bright white. I'm gonna tuck that on the sweet side because I feel like Brie really, it goes in the middle sometimes. You can go both directions. I'm also gonna put the apricot Stilton on the sweet side, but I'm gonna change out my knife. Now we're gonna cut our apricot Stilton in half. This is a crumbly cheese. It's super buttery and it's beautiful. It's also known as sunburst. I'm gonna tuck that one just nice and close. And I'm gonna keep some of these crumbles on the end. I'm gonna switch out my knife again because now we're going into more savory. I'm also going to switch out my board for a smaller one. My Hey There Truffle Gouda I'm gonna place over on the salty side as well. because how can you not? And then we'll put our Pickwick Vidalia onion cheddar on our savory side. This one is delightful. This one has become a guest favorite here at Sandhill Crane. We did it with our white wine pairing class a few weeks ago, and we learned that our Serenade wine from Holly's side from the Sandhill Crane side, is the perfect junk food wine. And with these and potatoes, it is perfection. I'm going to put that at the very end of my vegetables. This one's a really bold cheese, so I'm only going to do a little bit, but I'm going to do that same crisscross pattern because I just think that's so aesthetically pleasing and gives it a little bit of height in something that's normally so flat. I'm going to change out my knife once more for our Spanish cheese, Con Romero, which is rosemary crusted goat cheese. And this one, I'm going to leave a nice big flat piece where you can see that crust on it. Beautiful. Now what you're going to do is you're going to fill any of your empty spaces with delightful things. We're going to use our Michigan strawberries closest to our creme anglaise so that you know that you should dip it in there and eat it that way. And I'm going to get a little bit separation here and really pile them in. These are locally grown, they're fresh. Also a wonderful item to wash. And notice I'm wearing gloves for all of this because this is ready to eat food. Ready to eat means it's not going to be cooked again, meaning that if you do not have another kill step to kill the germs, like heating it up or sanitizing it in some manner, pasteurization, it will not get sanitary. It will not get heated one more time. I think I'm going to call that. These will be my snack later. And I'm going to add some blackberries, just interspersed. And I really like blackberry with my brie and around my creme anglaise as well. I really want the board to look full. You don't want to know that there's a board under there whatsoever. And I love using these. When I make these, what I do is I just take a pepper and I slice through it with a paring knife into these small fringes like this. Just slice, slice, slice. And then I put them in an ice water. And after about 30, 40 minutes, they bloom like this. And it's a perfect display item to just give a little bit of visual interest. And you can just break off each of those petals, if you will, like a flower, as a snack item on a board like this, which is really lovely. And then I'm also running out of space quickly, which is a good thing. Like I said, you want that. But I want to get at least half of this blood orange in here because with the Vignoles wine, I think that will go really spectacular. So when I do this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the knife blade with my fingers, giving it about half the depth of the orange, and I'm going to focus on holding the top and the bottom of the orange and spinning around the middle, making little zigzag cuts. And of course, this is a clean orange because every time I perforate it, all of the contaminants on the outside of the orange get on my knife and spread to the inside fruit, just as it would for a melon. So we're always making sure it's a clean knife, a clean piece of fruit with clean gloves. Ta-da! And it looks like we really only have room for one half of it. So I'm going to tuck that in the middle. People all wonder where this one went, and I ate it. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to cover this up and protect it from the elements, and we're going to package it into our cooler. So now that it's completely contained, I'm going to start by grabbing a couple freezer packs from the freezer. I choose to use freezer packs rather than ice because ice turns into water and freezer packs don't. So my freezer packs won't destroy my board. So I have 2 massive igloo cooler packs in the bottom of my cooler that are frozen. I've got those in the bottom, and I'm gonna try and make layers to keep all of my foods safe from each other. I don't have any raw meats or anything like that, so I don't have to worry about those dripping down. Everything we have is ready to eat, meaning the most important thing is to keep it cold continuously. I'm gonna put this board directly on the bottom here, but we're gonna be thoughtful about our layers. It's not gonna be the bottom. So I've got that set on top of those big packs. I'm gonna take both of our wines that we like to be chilled, and I'm gonna set those along the side. I'm gonna take 2 lighter packs. I'm gonna set those on top of our charcuterie board because we've gotta protect the goods. I'm also gonna pack 2 of our rhubarb lavender sodas from Northwood Soda Company here in Michigan, because we've gotta think about everybody that's gonna be at our event. I'm gonna put some of our beet and bean salad in here, as well as some of our loaded baked potato salad. And then I'm gonna put 2 slices of the most incredible chantilly cake you've ever met right along that other cooler pack. I'm gonna finish it with, you guessed it, more cooler packs. So those will go on top here. Now we'll close the lid, and we're not gonna open this lid until we're ready to enjoy the food, unless for some reason we need to add more of something. But I think for now, we're all set. So we're gonna get this down, we're gonna roll out to the yard, and I think we'll be prepared for a safe and delicious picnic in the vineyard. Today on My Kitchen with Jake, we learned how to create a beautiful charcuterie board that'll pair incredible with Sandhill Crane Vineyard wines. We couldn't have done it without thanking our sponsors, MichiganFoodSafety.com. MichiganFoodSafety.com is loaded full of tips and tricks on keeping your food safe, and there's also loads of wonderful recipes to try at home. This Memorial Day, make sure that whether you pick a board up from us or someone else, or you're loading your cooler full of meats, you're doing it safely and remembering to keep your food cold when it's ready to eat and cooking it to the correct temperature when it needs to be. Thank you so very much, and we'll see you on the next episode of My Kitchen with Jake when we tour the Sandhill Crane Vineyards with vintner Holly Peterson. Thanks so much, and we'll see you on the next episode.